Yeah, consider this your first official warning. Mother's Day is
Right.
coming up. Call your mom, friends. Hi, everyone. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Jenny Power. Of course, all eyes are going to be on the forecast
Oh,
too,
my
Tim.
goodness. I know.
Yes.
We're actually kind of spoiled this year.
We honestly have been. We've seen the streak of above average temperatures, and today is going to be much of the same. Some slight changes to this afternoon, but first, let's get you out the door with what we're waking up to. Right now, we're at 48 degrees in downtown Spokane, partly cloudy skies, but a dry start here to the day today. As we take a look at temperatures throughout the region, we're at 57 degrees right now for my friends in Wenatchee, 48 for Moses Lake, 50 degrees right now for Coeur d'Alene, and 43 through Sandpoint. But we are waking up to some widespread sunshine. Current satellite and radar has been calm, and our current winds are also calm to get things started. That is, however, going to change as we move into this afternoon. Our winds are going to be picking up region-wide and even enough to prompt a wind advisory in place for the Kittitas Valley. If maybe you have travel plans through central Washington, gusts could reach up to 50 miles per hour. So with this, we want to be extra fire aware here, even early on in this season, because fires could escape in dry grasses. We could also see some choppy lakes out there today, and also loose objects being easily blown around. As we take a look at your planner today, cloudy and breezy through this afternoon with cooler temperatures, and an extended look at your weekend forecast here in just a moment. But I do want to get you out the door with what we're seeing out on our local roadways here. Right now, I'm not tracking any major collisions. This is a live look for you at I-90 and Appleway, where yes, the sun is shining and traffic volumes are gradually increasing, but things are moving smoothly. Let's take another look here across the region of what we're seeing. Dry road conditions at least are consistent for us. Traffic map for you, everything right now is in the green. Of course, this is something we'll continue to monitor as the morning commute progresses. And looking ahead to Monday, drivers who use US 395 are going to experience some lane closures in both directions. This will start at 6:30 p.m. and go overnight until 6 o'clock in the morning. Crews will be installing guardrails between milepost 174 and 176, and this is by Wild Rose Road and Denison Chatteroy Road. There will be one-way alternating traffic. A flagger and pilot vehicle will also be there, and the work is expected to be finished up by next Friday, the 15th. Tim?
Jenny, thank you. This morning, new details in the massive cybersecurity attack on the popular classroom software called Canvas. The system is used by thousands of schools across the country. The company confirms names, email addresses, student ID numbers, as well as private messages had been accessed before the breach was contained. The hacking group called Shiny Hunters has claimed responsibility and is demanding ransom to prevent further data leaks. Spokane Public Schools released a statement saying they are not aware of any sensitive data contained in this breach. We have reached out to our local universities to see how students were impacted at those schools potentially. This morning, the intersection of Trent and Napa still partially closed after a water main break flooded the area. This is near Gonzaga's campus and right in front of the Spokane Hardware Supply Store. One business in the area tells us about 30 minutes after the pipe burst, the roads were flooded. The city closed off several blocks beyond the water main while they cleaned up the water and started to repair the road. The city says they believe the break was caused by the failure of a cast iron pipe from 1947 in what they describe as a high pressure zone in the city's water system. This morning, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office is sounding the alarm on reckless driving tied to something called pop-up car meets. They say these are becoming dangerous, and some community members are worried about their safety. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy shares how deputies are tracking these type of pop-ups.
When engines start revving this loud and strong, it makes Spokane neighbor Jessica Stewart face tough decisions when her kids want to ride their bikes away from their home near Division and Augusta.
They're older. They would love to ride their bikes around and their little scooters, but just because of the danger of the streets, it's been really impossible to have my kids be able to have like that childhood of hanging out, riding their bikes.
She says cars or motorcycles meeting up to race is becoming a common sight to see.
And they're blowing past red lights. They're racing their cars down there. They're scaring our animals.
Her experience, according to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, is shared.
They're about 60, 70 miles an hour now, southbound on Pines.
The Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to a car meet near East Mirabou Parkway and East Pinecroft Way at around 8:30 p.m. on May 1st. Dispatch traffic from that night reveals two motorcyclists riding away from the scene at more than 20 miles above the speed limit once deputies arrived.
They look to be 100 plus now. still westbound.
The sheriff's office says the riders hit speeds of up to 130 miles per hour while weaving through traffic on I-90, all while Air 1 tracked them from above and deputies stayed off the road to avoid a pursuit. As the motorcyclists exited on Division, troopers with Washington State Patrol moved in. Both riders were arrested for reckless driving and their motorcycles were impounded. Then, about 30 minutes later, Air 1 was called back to the same car meet after reports of more reckless driving. Deputies say a 16-year-old driver was seen doing burnouts in a Volkswagen Passat before he was stopped and cited for reckless driving. That car was also impounded. Both these situations, Sheriff John Knowles says, could have ended much worse.
The likelihood that we're going to have something tragic happen is increasing.
He says these pop-up car meets can quickly turn dangerous, and they'll continue targeted enforcement throughout Spokane County. He adds spectators at these meetups can also be held accountable if a situation becomes dangerous or illegal.
They have to understand that this is becoming such an issue and the dangers are great enough that if they do something where they can and should be held accountable, the sheriff's office will be there to hold them accountable for it.
For now, Stewart hopes to see and hear less intense drivers in her neighborhood in the future.
If you want to fight, you go to the ring. If you want to race, you go to the track. This is not a place to race cars. This is Division. This is where people live. This is where people thrive.
Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
The Department of Revenue is auctioning off more than 3,500 unclaimed items from safety deposit boxes. The items were turned over after financial companies could not get in contact with the owners. The items being auctioned off include coins, jewelry, and different currencies. The online auction starts May 13th and runs until May 20th. We do have more information about the auction and how to see if you have any unclaimed property on our website, krem.com.
And taking a look at your forecast here, temperatures are trending a little bit cooler compared to what we've seen all week long. We are going to be in the low 70s for Spokane, upper 60s over into Coeur d'Alene, and seeing some low 70s towards central Washington. But even though these temperatures are cooler than what we've seen all week long, it's still a bit above our average. Average for Spokane there at 65 degrees. We are hanging on to a dry forecast, but we'll see increasing clouds and breezy winds this afternoon. It's also a big weekend here ahead of us, folks. Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. And if maybe you want to get out and enjoy brunch, or you want to get some yard work done or some gardening done, we are looking at some sunshine, temperatures in the mid 70s with breezy Sunday afternoon winds.
Happening today and tomorrow is the 6th annual Asian Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Festival. It will be held alongside the annual Family Fun Fair at Riverfront Park. The event starts this afternoon at 1 and goes until 6 tonight. Tomorrow's events start at 10 a.m. There will be live performances, arts and crafts, and even a sumo wrestling performance. This is free for the community to attend. Still ahead here on Up With KREM, despite an escalation in tension in the Middle East, President Trump says the ceasefire with Iran is still intact. How the conflict could impact your summer travels.
And the Great American Plant Sale is kicking off Mother's Day weekend this afternoon. We've got details. We're here on Vets on the Farm. Live reports coming up.
But first, it's time for your wake-up call. Mother's Day just days away now, so we want to give a shout out to all the mamas out there. So you can send in a picture or a message and let us know what makes your mom the best too. We'd love to hear what makes your mom so special. Someone else giving a shout out to their mom, 91, still so blessed to have her still in your life. Looking good. All right, send in your photos to us, 509-448-2000.
Hi, my name is ET2 Riker Nice. I'm currently serving aboard the USS Nimitz. I'm from Asotin, Washington. In honor of Mother's Day, I'd like to recognize Mercia Nice, aka Mom. Mom, I just want to say I'm so glad and thankful to have been raised by you, and I would not be doing what I'm doing right now if it weren't for you. Also, I want to give another shout out to someone who's experiencing their very first Mother's Day today, which would be my wife, Sammy Ray, living in Bremerton, Washington. Sammy, I love you so much, and I hope this video comes to you soon. Congratulations for having your very first Mother's Day.